Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a special edition, the April Fool's video report that I've got coming out. Didn't send one out a couple of days ago, waiting to I could do a special one today. And I know people are listening to this because I got an email, got lots of emails and calls actually, as to how come I didn't record one last week. Well, for those of you that care, I was out at in San Diego doing college visits with my 17-year-old daughter. She's in the process of getting ready to go to college, and if you've been through that recently, it's both beautiful and a nightmare at the same time. So that's where I was last week for those that care. Anyway, there is a ton going on, and let me say first of all that this is a special April Fool's edition, but I ain't fooling around. We ain't fooling. So here's what we got. All right, first of all, there's lots of changes coming up already here, pending to come out any minute. Whoops. Another satisfied customer. They'll have to hang on. Anyway, first of all, effective today, there are significant changes to what's going on from the appraisal perspective. First of all, every appraisal report, including FHA and VA, now has to have the new Fannie Mae market conditions addendum. Now, what that's intended to do is to show the emotion of the area so that an underwriter can see what's currently happening. And that's to give them a better idea of what's going on. Number two is that there is not an investor that I'm working with now that will accept an appraisal that does not have at least 2 of the sales comps within the last 90 days. And if you're in a really distressed area, for example, like Phoenix, you might actually find that there are no sales in the last 90 days. So it becomes a catch-22. But ultimately, the appraiser's job just got harder, and it gives investors more reasons to say no. Last thing in the appraisal world is, and don't forget it, that come May 1st, less than 30 days from now, appraisers have to abide by the new code of conduct, I should say appraisers and lenders, and most of the big correspondent lenders are going to the round robin basis, which means that you can't work, I can't work, we can't recommend any particular appraiser to do the work or have any significant input into it or request numbers or anything. Not to say that we would do that, but it needs to be a complete and absolute separation. The problem with that is, although it's a good on paper, is you never know who's going to end up doing the appraiser. And if it's some mindless dweeb sitting in a windowless cubicle in Maryland, with all due respect to Maryland folk, that's what we get to live with. So be aware that the clock is ticking on that. Another kind of change, which is not for the good, is several mortgage insurance companies have shut down program offerings. So mortgage insurance has just gotten harder. For example, 10% down on second homes. Only one insurance agency, excuse me, Radian, that's still doing these. So ultimately, if you're working on those, get them in, get them done. Last thing, which is very good, is the Make Home Affordable program that was announced by Fannie Mae. As much as these came out at the beginning of March, we've been seeing and hearing a lot about it. We're just starting to get ticklings that the investors may be coming out with guidelines pretty soon. So ultimately, we may be able to start offering these programs. And in a nutshell, what that's going to allow is folks that may be over 80% loan to value refinance their homes, even though the mortgage insurance companies are in the hole, because if they didn't have mortgage insurance before, they won't need it now. So if you've got distressed borrowers, owners, and whatnot, absolutely, tell them to give me a call and we can look into these things, or they can check it out on my blog site. Don't forget that, very key, TucsonMortgageBlog.com. We post a lot of this information because it's faster and it's easier for everybody to get to. So thanks for listening. Have yourself a great day. Remember, don't be fooled. Bye-bye.